Jim and Claire from Troll Hunters, where they get to experience some romance in the midst of adventure. Title: Under the Moonstone's Glow. It was a chilly evening in Arcadia Oaks, and Jim Lake Jr. was waiting by the bridge where he and Claire often met. He had spent the day training with Blinky and was tired, but he couldn't miss his chance to spend some time alone with her. Tonight was special. The moonstone that appeared over Arcadia only once a year would be visible, casting a glow that illuminated the night with a soft, magical light. Jim had heard from Blinky that this was a night when special wishes could be made under the moonstone, and he thought maybe he could finally tell Claire how he felt. As he paced, Claire arrived, her dark hair catching the silver moonlight, her smile warm despite the cold. "Hey, Jim, you look like you've been waiting for hours." "Maybe I have," Jim replied with a grin. "I didn't want to miss this." They began to walk down the path, talking and laughing, sharing stories about their families and friends. Claire was just telling Jim about the strange things she'd seen at her theater rehearsal when suddenly a deep rumbling sound shook the ground. They exchanged worried glances. "Looks like it's never just a simple night for us, is it?" Claire said with a smirk, gripping her shadow staff tightly. The rumbling grew louder, and from the trees emerged a group of gum-gums led by a particularly fierce troll named Drokul. Jim recognized him immediately as one of Gunmar's former followers who had managed to escape after the battle. Drokul's red eyes gleamed with anger as he spotted the troll hunter. Well, well, troll hunter," Drokul sneered, his voice echoing through the trees. "Did you really think Gunmar's fall would mean the end of us?" Jim tensed, summoning his sword. "I don't know what you're planning, Drokul, but it's not happening here. Not tonight." Without another word, the battle began. Jim charged at Drokul, their weapons clashing under the glowing moonstone. Claire darted around the other gum-gums, using her staff to create portals that trapped them in shadowy dimensions, out of harm's way. But as they fought, Jim noticed something troubling. The moonstone's light was affecting him. It was as if he was getting stronger, faster, and his amulet of daylight shone even brighter. Yet he could feel its power to overwhelm him, making him reckless. He wasn't sure how much longer he could control it. Claire noticed this too. She teleported to his side, her eyes filled with concern. "Jim, are you okay? You're glowing even more than usual." Jim clenched his jaw. "It's the moonstone. I think it's amplifying the amulet's power, but I don't know if I can handle it." Suddenly, Drokul lunged forward, aiming for Claire. With a burst of strength he didn't even realize he had, Jim blocked the attack, sending Drokul flying back. But the effort left him unsteady, and he stumbled to one knee. Claire knelt beside him. "We need to get you away from the moonstone's light. Come on, let's—" Before she could finish, Drokul was back on his feet, glaring at them both. "You think you can escape so easily, Troll Hunter? Not tonight!" He charged forward, his massive fists raised. Jim struggled to his feet, his sword raised to defend Claire. "I won't let him hurt you, Claire," he said, his voice filled with determination. Claire looked at him, her gaze softening. "Jim, we're in this together." She held out her hand and Jim took it, feeling a surge of warmth and strength from her touch. Together, they faced Drokul, their combined powers resonating under the moonstone's glow. With Claire's help, Jim was able to focus, finding balance in the amplified power of the amulet. As Drokul charged them one last time, Jim and Claire moved in perfect harmony. Jim blocked his attack, and Claire opened a portal right beneath Drokul's feet, sending him tumbling through to the other side of the forest, far from them. The remaining Gum-Gums, seeing their leader defeated, fled into the shadows, disappearing into the night. The fight was over, and all was quiet once again. Jim exhaled, finally feeling the power of the amulet return to normal as they stepped out of the moonstone's direct light. He turned to Claire, still holding her hand. "Thank you, Claire. I don't think I could have done that alone." Claire smiled softly. "You're never alone, Jim. Not as long as I'm here." Jim's heart raced as he looked into her eyes, the silver blue light of the moonstone surrounding them like a magical aura. He knew this was his chance. He took a deep breath, summoning all the courage he could. "Claire, I have something to tell you. I've been trying to for a while, actually." He laughed nervously, scratching the back of his head. Claire's smile grew, as if she already knew. "I think I know what you're going to say, Jim." Jim's cheeks turned a little red, but he smiled back. Well, I'll say it anyway. Claire, I really like you. Like really like you. I just I didn't know how to say it before. Claire's eyes sparkled and she took his hand in both of hers. Jim, I like you too. I've liked you since the day you threw that sword into the air in the canal and didn't even know what you were doing. You're brave, you're kind, and you're my hero. Jim felt a weight lift off his shoulders and he couldn't stop smiling. Really? Really? Claire leaned in, closing the distance between them. I smiled, and Jim's heart skipped a beat as she gave him a soft kiss under the light of the moonstone. When they pulled apart, they both laughed, a bit shy but incredibly happy. Together, they sat by the glowing trees, letting the moonstone's soft light wash over them. For a little while, they forgot about trolls, battles, and dark forces. It was just the two of them, under the stars, in a moment that felt magical in every way. And for Jim, that was enough.